Well, folks, it's about that time. I know it's been a minute since I posted any B-Movie Madness episodes, so here we go. Tonight we're watching Octopus 2, River of Fear. Although, personally, I think River of Stupidity would be a far more suitable title, because that's exactly what this movie is. I felt like I was losing brain cells by the second while watching and reviewing the first Octopus. After watching this one, I'm damn near catatonic, and I'll probably end up having to check myself into a psych ward after this video. So, spoiler alert for anybody that really cares, but as you may have guessed, the plot of this film has basically nothing to do with the first movie, making it a sequel in name only. And I am perfectly alright with that. So we start out with these two twats who are clearly plastered out of their minds, or at least the dude is.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
See, even the octopus thought that guy was annoying, as it bursts through the dock and starts flinging its rubber tentacles everywhere. And did my dude just wrap that tentacle around himself? Now it's time to meet our two heroes, Nick and Walter. We first meet them while they're on a stakeout in this little itty-bitty police boat, following this yacht, who they assume is a drug lord, but ends up being a city judge. Hey, isn't that the jet ski guy from Shark Attack 3? They come across the body of the woman that was killed in the film Start. Waste of good food there, Mr. Octopus. And somehow they automatically know who did it. So we end up in the sewers, where we come across this whole community of homeless people, which includes one of their probable suspects, a guy named Mad Dog. And no, I have no idea why he's called that, nor is it ever explained. All I know is these guys are absolute dickheads for smashing this poor homeless guy's possessions, including his TV, with a baseball bat.
Happen, huh?
That was totally uncalled for! Hey, this is my home, you can't do that!
I think I'm doing a pretty good job, though.
So Mad Dog happens to have witnessed the attack. So what did you see, Mad Dog?
It was a sea monster.
Alright, well that went absolutely fucking nowhere. Time to report to the captain. Then we cut to a tugboat whose crew, let's just say, is about to have a very bad day.
You are about to have a very bad day.
And for reasons I cannot even begin to figure out, the captain is listening to ice cream truck music. So the giant cephalopod attacks the boat, latching itself onto the side, and we get a bunch of reused shots from the first Octopus. Along with some rubber tentacles thrown in for good measure. Now, fun fact, this shot you see here of the dude getting strangled by this giant fake-looking tentacle is featured on the back of the DVD cover, and you can even see here the green screen that they used to put in the fake background. Anyway, so the ship catches fire and explodes. And I am so glad they showed the octopus detached from the ship. That way, the audience will know at least that it climbed off of the ship before it exploded. So, despite having pretty much no evidence, besides what this homeless drunk dude told him, Nick decides to go to his captain and tell him that he thinks the killer is a giant man-eating octopus. And it goes about as well as you would expect.
South from up near Nova Scotia, and it's possible that this creature was swept down with it and it's trapped or nesting out in the Hudson.
Okay, but none of that explains how it got so fucking big. Are we even gonna get an explanation for that?
I'm blown away. When was the last time you had a physical, Nick?
Excuse me, sir?
A physical, you know. Take your pulse, check your heartbeat.
No, I'm not sure, sir. Why?
Because I'm wondering when your brains fell out and how you've been functioning without them all this time.
See, now the captain is asking the right questions here. Well, I guess now it's time for somebody who's actually important to die. That way we can have an excuse for the main character to want to take out the octopus. So, Walter, this one's for you. So our two friends end up getting ambushed by the octopus while they are diving, and Walter gets attacked. This scene goes on forever though, with the same shots and the same sound effects being used over and over. Like, just kill the fucking guy already. We get this same shot of the octopus's eye while it waves its rubber tentacle around like 4 or 5 times. So Walter bursts through the dock from below, and then Nick decides he wants to rip off Carnosaur, or aliens, and uses a giant crane to try and fight the octopus with. And I love the way the octopus just casually presses the crane shut with its tentacle. And just look at that groundbreaking CGI when the machine short circuits. Anywho, so Walter gets dragged to his death, and I really hope the octopus decides to eat its prey this time, versus just pulling him into the water with its rubber tentacles and drowning him. Yeah, I'm sorry, I still can't get over the fact that this giant mutated octopus is so wasteful when it comes to food. So later that night, I guess Nick took some LSD before he went to bed, because we are treated to one of the most insane dream sequences I have ever seen in a film. So our boy's hanging out in the Statue of Liberty when all of a sudden the octopus, which is somehow moving around on land, begins climbing up it. And rather than try to rush downstairs while the octopus struggles to rip the head off, people start randomly jumping out the window to their deaths, including Nick. And I love how you can clearly tell he's either sitting in a chair or is being suspended a few feet above the ground with a green screen behind him while he wiggles his legs in the air. Next, we cut to some random cop who appears to be in the sewer system, not sure why, and is suddenly attacked by the octopus, who uses its fake rubber tentacles to put my man in a chokehold. Again, not even eating him. Also, I did not realize that the sewer systems in Manhattan are connected to the ocean, but what the hell do I know? Later on, our heroes are diving in the Manhattan River when they are ambushed once again by the octopus, whose mouth looks like an asshole with teeth. So they decide to grab the deceased body of a diver that they found nearby and launch him into the octopus's mouth and then just swim away. And the purpose of that was? Come to think of it, actually, this film is filled to the brim with scenes like this that are completely pointless and go absolutely nowhere. Just like this scene here in which it's revealed that the judge, who was accused of being a drug dealer, actually is a drug dealer. Anyway, after being nuked, the octopus goes flying and crashes into this wall and then starts banging its rubber tentacles on it. I guess this tunnel also doubles as a dam because water starts pouring through the cracks. So I'm just going to skip ahead a bit, but basically there's this busload of kids. There's also this old lady who is clearly a middle-aged woman that they slapped a wig on to make her look older, who keeps talking to her dog. Anyway, the tunnel starts collapsing, and this old lady's reaction is just so ridiculous that it's almost amazing.
What's going on here?
Even the dog is looking at her like, shut the fuck up, you old hag. So, blah blah blah. Gotta rescue this bus full of kids along with this old lady and her dog as the tunnel starts to flood. So, I don't know if there's meant to be 2 octopi in this movie, or if the same one just dies twice, somehow. First, they swim right up to it and just casually place a bomb on the octopus, then detonate it into about 100 pieces. But then out of nowhere, it just pops up out of the water again, looking way too whole for something that just exploded. Anyway, Nick shoots it with an explosive harpoon gun, and it explodes about 3 or 4 times, with all of them being different explosions. Some were shot in daytime, some at night. The background even changes a couple of times, and I can finally get on with my life now. So what can I even really say about this film? I mean, it's pretty much par for the course as far as these new image films go. Bad acting, silly dialogue, some really wonky editing, cheap effects, and lots of recycled footage that is taken either from the first Octopus movie or from a different New Image film. Hell, we even get some stock footage that looks like it was ripped straight from Discovery Channel. I suppose one thing worth mentioning is the fact that they did use more practical effects in this one, and it looks like they even built a full-sized animatronic octopus for certain shots. I mean, I'm certainly not trying to give this movie too much credit, but the design of the creature is pretty cool, especially with those glowing yellow eyes. Of course, it's still on the cheaper side, but for what this film is, I don't think the practical effects used are horrible, especially for a straight-to-video movie. And that's really the only plus I can give this film. Probably the biggest crime that this movie commits is that it's fucking boring. The pacing in this film is just horrendous. Even the attack sequences somehow manage to be boring. How does that happen? Anyway, guys, I appreciate you all for taking the time to watch this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to give me a like, drop a comment, and maybe even subscribe. It would really help me out and would allow me to bring more content to you guys. Anyway, this has been Mark, aka The Movie Buffer. Ciao for now, guys.